It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it was the end of summer last year.
It was.
The last time
It
we
does feel like it was that long ago.
Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Grass Shock. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Way back there is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we're back. Holly's happy. We are in a 2025 GMC HUMMER EV 3X SUV. And that mouthful just means we're in the top trim of the SUV, not the truck version of the all-electric Hummer. And this time we are testing it on our home turf. What's it been like for a week in the spring here in East Texas for our family of three? Stay tuned to find out. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it was the end of summer last year.
It was.
The last time
It does feel like it was that long ago.
I already know how you feel, but for those who have not seen that video, let's catch everybody up to speed. What are your thoughts on the style?
I love it. I want it.
Yeah. As much as you love the Bronco, I think this ranks pretty high up there with it for a lot of the same reasons.
Yeah.
But maybe even more so in
Even
some of the
more so.
others.
So taking you back to my history,
Okay.
the first car I bought on my own as an adult woman was a Mini. A Mini. And it was a pretty blue color, not the baby blue, the other one,
Yeah.
like the sea blue. But when I was in the market for a car, I was either going big or I was going small. So if this had been on the market, I probably couldn't have afforded it, but I would have wanted this.
I mean, the H2 was around back then.
No, but Evie. I mean, okay, so I know not everybody feels this way, but there is a little bit of that side eye to the original Hummers after they came out, that you're like destroying the planet. So I wouldn't have wanted the side eye, but now that they have the EV version, I can like it guilt-free. Unless it's true that it takes more energy to produce an EV, but still.
To be fair, this one has a massive battery with rare earth minerals, 200 kilowatt hour plus battery that, not great for the environment to make it. And then when it comes to the EV side of things, it's not a super efficient EV. I believe, 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour.
Shut up and let me feel better. Shut up.
We saw slightly better than that at Texas highway speeds in the F-150 Lightning, if that tells you anything. Though, I will say, I have road tripped this one, and it's consistent at that 1.4 miles per kilowatt, whether I was on the highway or putting around town, which makes the range estimates on the screen fairly accurate. You've got 303 miles there in front of you right now. Fairly accurate. But, so you like its big, boxy, brawny stature, is what you're saying.
I love it. I like this blue color.
Now, this one technically isn't blue, it's gray. The last one we
this
had
gray color.
was a baby blue. Of course you like this gray. Our entire inside of our house is painted.
Yeah, it's like a gray blue.
Yeah.
It's on the bluer side of gray.
So is our house.
And so is our house.
A millennial gray. Very nice, very cool look. We've got the big 22-inch wheels, which I don't know that I would spec it that way. I would probably go with the extreme off-road package or whatever they call it. But
I feel like everybody better move out of my way.
I mean, would you know it? Would you believe it? Because you and I have tested an original Hummer, which was a converted military vehicle.
We did.
This is practically the same width, but the space is laid out so much better on the inside and on the outside. Because all the transmission drivetrain stuff isn't wedged in between us. We've got more room in here for us. So translates to, what do you think of the interior?
That's still one of my most viewed reels on my Instagram page. Yeah, it's like a lot.
Yeah. So people really like the interior?
No, not this.
Oh.
The original one.
The original.
But I did get a lot of comments on wasting all the gas, destroying the earth. Maybe that's why it's my most watched.
Yeah, could be. A lot of engagement.
I love the interior.
I know you love the gold.
I love the gold. I love the cream. I love the black. I do have to say something though, because we get this question a lot when we say we like the cream and we have a kid. It mostly comes from parents about the cream. So I will admit something. I noticed over here, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But the cream is getting some dark spots.
Yeah, and there's a little here on the dash.
And I did try to wipe these off with a little wipey, and it wasn't coming off. I mean, I'm sure there's something. The material is...
It's textured.
It's weird, yeah. And I think that doesn't help.
Yeah. And it would eat up a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser if that's what you were trying to use too, because those things like fall apart. I'm just saying, if you were.
If I was, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if these spots have just gotten in between the cracks and they're not coming out. But there you have it. If you get the cream interior, is that all it comes in?
No, you could get an all black interior.
Yeah. You might have some spots you have to deal with.
I could live with it.
There you go. I could definitely live with it.
Hey, I'd get over it real quick.
But it is, it's textured, but it's squishy. It's nice. It's just, I feel like, I think the sweat there's a couple things that put this maybe over the Bronco for me. Functionality and style-wise is that it's not as utilitarian as a Bronco. You do have some more creature comforts in the Hummer EV than you do the Bronco.
Way more storage in here.
Way more storage.
Tucker can crawl under here in this pass-through down here.
Yeah.
We put 2 to-go containers of food down here and almost forgot about them earlier this week. And then we've got this massive center console with, oh look, there's my hat. Found it. How appropriate to wear an oil derrick on my hat reviewing an EV. But yeah, it's a little more practical.
The other thing is, it is easier for me to take off the tops.
Because it's 4 individual panels instead of 2 up here and 1 big one back there.
Yes.
Oh.
And so I could take off the tops by myself.
Just a couple of latches. I will lament, the Bronco and the Wrangler both have rain channels down the side over the windows that make a great place to grab them. These are like smooth on the outside, so
you do have to finagle it a little bit. But
have a good hold on it.
Yeah, you have to have a good hold on it. But it is a lot easier and a lot lighter for me by myself to do that.
And all 4 of them have their individual storage bags all under the front trunk, the hood in the front trunk. And if you stack them properly, all 4 fit just perfectly. Hood closes, and you still have all the storage in the way back.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I like that.
I like that a lot.
And we have had the tops off. It rained over Easter weekend here for us. So we put the top back on, but we've got one more day with this.
And we're taking the top off.
Top's coming back off for sure. But yeah, nice use of space in here. I mean, it's basically a full-size pickup truck. Tucker, how's your space back in the back? Yeah, you got plenty of room back there?
Yes.
Very easy to put 3 car seats across, which, Tucker, what should we talk about now?
Putting in my child safeties.
And then I'll show you some storage situations as well. Okay, before I bring in Tucker's Graco Extended Fit child safety seat, let's talk about passenger space for adults back here. There are a lot of nice amenities that make this good to use, including the grab handle here on the B-pillar, the running boards, make it very easy to climb in and get in. And if the removable roof panels were off, it'd be even easier. And once you're in here, my goodness, the amount of space you get is almost ridiculous. It is a full-size pickup truck. It feels very much like any other full-size General Motors product in here. There are some parts shared across all their vehicles. And so yes, we get lots of space. We do get tri-zone climate controls and some additional power back here. We get heated outboard seats, which is very nice. Air vents, a little bit of rubberized storage, and a 3-prong power outlet down there. All-weather floor mats are nice. Storage is nice. Storage is nice. Cup holders in the door, storage in the door, and more cup holders here. It is wide enough for 3 adults or 3 car seats. It is plenty roomy. And then, yes, you can get in, get very comfortable back here. I do like it a lot. And then we do have this handle right here that does recline the seat ever so slightly if you wanted just a little bit of a recline, but it is a very nice back seat. We'll go ahead now and climb out and talk about what makes this a good child seat vehicle. First and foremost, it is a 60-40 split, with the 40% being here on the passenger side. So we still have that full 60% over there when Tucker's child seat is in place. When you fold the seats down, you do get a nice flat transition from the cargo area to the seat back. It is very nice. And then we have latch points on the 2 outboard seats. None there in the center seat, but we do have that seat belt that is mounted to the seat that should make for a very easy installation over there if you want to put 3 across. Plenty of room for 3 across in here. I see no problem with that whatsoever. Also, we do have a headrest there in the middle, and we do have top tethers all the way across. But let's bring in Tucker's Graco Extend to Fit child safety seat. This is the same child safety seat he rode in when he was rearward facing. And once you know it, just like most General Motors full-size pickup trucks, it is plenty large enough for me to keep the front seat exactly where I had it with the child seat in its rear-facing format. So we will go ahead now, turn this around. We will drop our top tether back behind the seat there and give us a little slack here. The lower latch points are exposed a little bit. You don't feel them when sitting in the seats, and it does make for pretty easy install. Also making for a pretty easy install, the running boards and the adjustable height suspension. I currently have it in its entry access ride height, which makes it its lowest outside of its watts to freedom 0 to 60 run. And so that makes for a pretty easy installation here. Not too bad right there, but we still got to get that top tether in. And to do that, push that button right there. The swing gate, the power swing gate slides open. And then, yes, we've got this big massive area back here, but a short overall roof line, which does kind of compromise your rear cargo space. But I mean, look at the profile of it. It just looks so cool. So there's some trade-offs here for sure. And well, yeah, we're gonna do it. You have to climb in to the vehicle to even get back here in a good enough position to put that top tether in, and then we can snug it down. You can see I am doing a little bit of damage, perhaps long-term, to this seating material, having this installed there, but it's the best we can do here. Now, sliding back, my goodness, trying not to fall out. We can fold the seats down from right here as well. So if you are putting stuff in and need more cargo space, again, short roof line, you can fold the seats down from here, which is nice. You can't fold them back up. They just power release. We do have some additional storage here. Our jack is over here. It is a big time jack because it's a big time vehicle and it weighs 9,000 pounds. And then we get a little bit of additional storage down here. This is where we have all of our charging cables currently. I feel like they could have done a little bit more for overall storage in this, but it is what it is. And then to close this giant swing gate, you push the button, it beeps at you a few times and it closes. Now, that is not the end of the storage conversation, because this is, of course, an EV, and that means we have a frunk. Well, it's not a guaranteed, but it means we have a frunk here. And you can see this is a very narrow passageway with a lot of plastic space on the side, but it perfectly fits all 4 roof panels, and we do have the individual roof panel storage bag. So as long as you stack them perfectly, you can stack all the roof panels in here without compromising your already limited rear cargo space. So that's very nice. And then another thing that General Motors does, we don't have any buttons anywhere here to power close the front trunk, the frunk. You can either go inside and push and hold the button I just pushed in on the dash to close it, or you can double click and hold the button on the key fob. The same is true if you are trying to close the rear hatch from the key fob. You have to hold it because GM wants to make sure you are sure you want to close the hatch or the hood so you don't close anything in it. Just an interesting safety feature that GM added to it. But there you go, car seat in the Hummer EV. All right, Tucker, while we're talking child safety seats, what are your thoughts of the Hummer?
Great.
You really like it?
Yeah.
Do you like it as much as Mommy?
Way more.
Way more.
So I guess we just need to start saving. Other thoughts in here. You've got all these actual tactile buttons. Very interesting row of electronic adaptable buttons here. There is a physical control beneath, but like some of them go up and down, some just go down.
That's what I was going to say. They're a little bit confusing, this one in particular, because then now you got to press these buttons. You can't press these buttons.
Same with the heated and ventilated seats.
And then see, now I turned it up too much.
And you can't do them both at the same time.
I don't love that.
Yeah. So
that has taken a little while to get used to.
But I'm sure once we did get used to it,
yeah,
we would be used to it.
We would be used to it.
That's just normal.
That is something I could get used to.
Yeah. It's got Super Cruise. We like Super Cruise, hands-free lane changing.
One of us likes Super Cruise.
I mean, you Super Cruised across Texas.
If I am going to drive hands-free, I do like the Super Cruise better than other ones that are on the market, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like to have more control than that.
That's true. You barely use traditional.
I barely use regular cruise.
So why would you do hands-free?
Why would I?
Full digital screen back there, which I have some laments over. I can see the posted speed limit is 35 miles per hour. Can you see from there in the driver's seat?
No.
Exactly. And that's purely software. I don't know why they chose that as the placement for where the posted speed needed to be instead of like right above your actual speed. I don't know. Feels like that could be a software update.
Yeah, I wish there was a head-up display too.
Yeah.
But it is a little windshield. So.
Little in overall height, but wide.
Yeah, wide.
You've got 3 wipers. For it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because how short it is. But as we are turning on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas, Tucker, how is your wobbly head back there in the back? Holly, what are your thoughts?
You know, it's smoother than I would expect it to be, but it is, a big...
It's a Hummer.
Yeah. I didn't feel that.
Yeah.
Very much.
I heard it creak in the roof panels a little.
Yes, I heard it creak, but you didn't really feel that. Yeah. But yes, it is a big platform.
Yes.
You're going to feel some of them, but you kind of expect to, right?
Right. I would. I mean, it's a Hummer.
Yeah.
But you do have a fully independent air ride suspension that can lift this thing up to like 16 inches of ground clearance if you need it. That does limit you to 12 miles an hour, if you're wondering. Or you can lower it way down to do watts to freedom, WTF, and go 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. In this.
Which we did test out all of those last time. Go check that video out.
I made you.
He made me. The crab
walk.
That was fun.
Yeah. So that brings us to what's it like to drive?
When would you ever use that?
I'm trying to avoid some things, but how is it like to drive with that 4-wheel steering, not in crab walk mode?
Yeah, well, it is big.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could run over every car that's on the road. But it doesn't feel... It's weird, but it doesn't feel long.
Right. Well, the four-wheel steering does shrink it up because it shrinks your turning radius. So it doesn't make it feel that huge when you're trying to maneuver it. The instantaneous torque of the 3 electric motors in this means it doesn't feel like
Heavy.
it's 9,000 pounds.
Yeah, it feels
Even though
really-
it's 9,000 pounds.
It feels really light.
Yeah. It feels like you
It's
could just
weird.
put around town like you were in your Mini, right?
Yes.
Like it's
Just
very
about.
easy to just zip, zip, zip.
Except I feel like I can drive over people. I can zip right over people.
Yes. I will say, Tyler, Texas has put medians almost everywhere where they don't want you to turn. I was leaving my brother's work. There's a median in the middle of the road, keeping me from turning left, but there was absolutely no traffic. I said, I'm in a Hummer. I just went over it and turned left anyway.
That's not how laws work, honey.
The
That is
Hummer
not-
mentality. What can I say?
Well, when we were backing up, you're like, you're going to hit the curb. And I'm like, I'm in a Hummer.
It does things to you, driving a Hummer. And then you do have good 360 cameras. The General Motors lawyers allow you to turn them on at whatever point you need to. And you can look at your tires, front and rear. You can look at practically any viewpoint you want to from here, which is really cool. And if we got the extreme off-road package, we'd even have underbody cameras underneath
Yeah.
that we could see the ground that we're driving over.
Interesting.
Other thoughts? Heated, ventilated seats. You have 2-person memory. You have to push and hold.
And that's something that the Broncos don't have ventilated seats, do they?
No. So this is a little bit more usable in the Texas spring, summer. I mean, I've got mine on full blast right now, and it is nice. Tri-zone climate controls in this. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. One of 2 GM EVs to still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto at all. They've disabled it, turned it off in every other GM EV aside from the Cadillac Lyriq. So if you want Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, get a Hummer. Though the screen dedicated to it is a little small.
That's so small.
Weird in that regards. But yeah, good storage. Like I said, Tucker can hide down there. I've got a glove box here that's nice and big.
So what's the range?
So they claim 320 on the window sticker. You see 301 at just under 100 miles of range as we've been driving it. Again, it's got a 205 kilowatt hour battery thereabouts, and you're averaging 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So 1.4 times 200, it's about what you get. Yeah, 280.
280.
So,
Okay.
other thoughts?
That's it.
Yeah, you want it? You want to buy it? We don't need to talk.
If you want to visit me, I will be here.
You'll be living in the Hummer.
Yes.
We're not even going to talk price tag or anything like that.
Well, I already know the price tag.
Yeah, which is?
Isn't it like 108?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need some more subscribers and followers and likes and comments and engagement.
You take this away from me, you'll have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Interesting that she let me take it away from her for a full day to road trip it across
I
Texas
had
and
no
back.
choice. And
Yeah.
I immediately regretted it.
Yeah, but I did need this. We are testing 2 EVs this week, and this one, surprisingly, has more range and quicker charging as well.
Quicker charging.
So I needed this one. And if you want to know more from Holly from Tucker, you can go find Holly on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find Tucker's YouTube channel at Tucker's Talk. You can hit the subscribe button and ring the bell and follow along with all of our reviews. You can find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But yeah, as for us, in the 2025 GMC Hummer EV 3X SUV. Until next time, gearheads. Bye. I said stay tuned. How could I use such an archaic, outdated term?
Embarrassing.
What do you mean?
Daddy's being silly from a silly comment he got on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned and stay tuned.
double down.
And in case you are thinking about leaving, stay tuned.